clocks went forward on Saturday night here. So well done to whoever did that. Well done to you guys if you've been watching. So there we go. Good morning, good morning. And this was John's local church. This is where Aunt Mimi used to bring John each Sunday, usually under protest, but he would come along anyway. And he did actually get quite involved with the church goings on here. Oh, it's open as well, look. And he was in the choir here. He was in the Boy Scouts here, the Sunday school, and he was also a bell ringer here as well, apparently. They've just recently discovered that he used to be a bell ringer here. So he did get quite involved with all things church. And every year in Woolton we have an annual festival called the Woolton Village Fete, which is like a big garden party organised by the church. And these have gone on for years. We still have them till this day. I think last year was the first time we've not had one, and that was just due to the coronavirus pandemic. The sooner we stop having to say that word, the better. And these Woolton Village Fetes used to take place in the church field here. Where the graveyard finished here, this was the church field of St. Peter's. So this, for many years, this is where the Woolton Village Fete took place. And it was at one of these Woolton Village Fetes where John and Paul first met. Because what had happened was, the Reverend Price, who was the Reverend here at the time, got word that John had formed a group and he wanted some exciting live entertainment putting on. And he invited John to come and bring his Quarrymen Skiffle group along to perform here at the Woolton Village Fete. Exactly where they were set up, we can't quite get to the bottom of. Even some of the quarrymen tell different stories, but some say it was over here by where this tarpaulin is. Some say it was on the other side of that fence. There's a bit of a question mark on it, but I think what they're all agreed on is it was a long time ago. And they're all getting on a bit now, so nobody can quite remember by the sounds of things. But anyway, that's where the Woolton Village Fete took place. And who was in the audience that day? A young Paul McCartney, who had been brought along by a mutual friend, a lad called Ivan Vaughan. Ivan was from Woolton. He was a good friend of John's. In fact, he sometimes played in the Quarrymen Skiffle group. But Ivan went to the same school as Paul, the Liverpool Institute in town. And it was Ivan who had the idea that these two young men may be good together as musicians. So it was Ivan who invited Paul along that day to come and see John. So for the very first time, Paul saw John up on the stage performing with his Quarrymen Skiffle groups, socking it to them, and was suitably impressed. But that's not where they first met. They didn't actually meet till later that day. And I'll take you over to the place where they first met right now. How's everyone doing this morning anyway? Thanks very much for joining me. Let's just say a few quick hellos to folk. Just while we're out, we've got Liz Bassani, good morning Liz, John the pop singer, good morning John, Laurie Kewen, Steph and Dina and Stevie, Stephen Maybe, Josie Taff, hello Josie, one of our Mop Top Tour guests, Ellis Rogers, we've got Sarah on, hi Sarah, we have Carol, Rona. If you're still watching, give us some thumbs up, Rona, if you're still on. Rona's from Woolton. In fact, she lives just around the corner from me, Rona. We've got Ingemar Pinnen Johansson. who I think might be a friend of a friend. It is, isn't it? That's Johansson. That's Sebastian's father, I think, who's a regular tour guest, and he's a good old pal of the Mop Top. Some thumbs up, thanks very much. Yeah, Sebastian's. You're Sebastian's dad, aren't you? And Ingemar's been on the tour as well. I can't quite see the profile pics, I can't see. Who else have we got? Alan Kenny, hello Alan, how are we doing? Is the chippy open? I don't know. I'm not going near chippies at the moment. I am on a keep fit regime, not a keep fat regime. Andy Cross, and hello. Oh, we've got Jenny on as well from, that's somebody calling me. Yeah, so thanks very much everyone for hopping on board. Right, let's get back to the subject in hand. Beautiful day here today. It's a little bit breezy. I was down by the waterfront this morning and it was blowing a hoolie. Sorry about the phone ringing. I'll have to give him a call back. Right, so just to pick up back up on the story then, those of you who are still with us. So there's the church. That's where we had the Walton Village Fete in the afternoon, and then in the evening we had the grand dance, which was held across the road in this building here, St. Peter's Church Hall. And this is where the Quarrymen were appearing alongside the George Edwards band, the big dance band who were playing Glenn Miller type music, all that dance type stuff. And the Quarrymen Skiffle group playing a bit of rock and roll for the young ones. And it was early evening. This is where the Quarrymen were kind of warming up before the show, and Ivan brought Paul along to meet his friend John. And he was introduced to John on the stage steps of St. Peter's, where Paul played his little audition tune, 20 Flight Rock. This is where that happened. And John was suitably impressed and very quickly got word to Paul that he wanted him to join the group. And as John famously said, that was the day that I met Paul, that it started moving.